Hello and welcome back to another Carzone review. Volvo is well on their way to becoming a fully electric car brand by 2030. Last year they launched their first fully electric model, the Volvo XC40 Recharge, and this is the follow-up, the Volvo C40. It's another mid-size SUV, but with very trendy coupe-inspired styling that gives it a little bit more prestige. In Ireland, the new C40 goes on sale from about €53,000 for a single motor version and from about €63,000 for the dual motor version. And they both give a projected range of over 400 kilometres on a full battery. Now that puts the C40 firmly in the premium side of the market against rivals such as the Mercedes-Benz EQB, the Audi Q4 e-tron and the Tesla Model Y. There's also a fair bit of in-house competition from the likes of the Volvo XC40 Recharge and the Polestar 2 from the same Volvo family. So has Volvo done enough with the new C40 to help it to stand out among premium electric SUVs? In this video, we're going to take a closer look to find out. The Volvo C40 can charge up to speeds of 150 kilowatts. So if you can find a high power charging station, you can get up to 80% battery charge in just under 40 minutes. Typically, most buyers will be charging at home, so from a 7 kilowatt wall box, it'll take roughly 12 hours to charge the C40 to 100%. And all C40s also come with a plug surfing card, and that gives you access to over 200,000 charge points across Ireland and Europe with just one access card. The Volvo C40 uses the same underpinnings as the XC40 Recharge and the same batteries. The single motor version is the most affordable entry into the C40 range, and it sends 231 horsepower to the front wheels, which is perfectly adequate for a 5-seat SUV. It uses a 69 kilowatt hour battery, which has a projected range of 433 kilometres. What I have here is the dual motor version, and it offers the best performance of the range. So there's two electric motors and they send 408 horsepower to all four wheels, giving a 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time of 4.7 seconds. So this is clearly the best for performance, and it's great fun to drive as well. It uses a 78 kilowatt hour battery with a projected range of up to 449 kilometers. But if you're exploiting all that power all the time, it's certainly going to diminish your range somewhat. Like all these electric SUVs, the C40 does feel heavy on the road, and you especially feel that when it comes to braking or in fast cornering. But Volvo has firmed up the suspension, so it's still pleasantly agile, and there's loads of grip from that all-wheel drive system. There's a few different modes to adjust the steering feel, but they don't really impact it that much. And there's also one pedal driving, which is handy in town and city driving, because when you let your foot off the accelerator, it slows the car down to a stop without having to use the brake. SUVs are big sellers for car brands these days, so it's no surprise that Volvo has added another SUV to their range. But the C40 is a little bit different because it's what we call an SUV coupe, so it's lower and sleeker than your average SUV, and it's also got a sloping roofline, just like a coupe. At the front, the C40 is a bit wider and curvier than the XC40. It's also got a closed grille because it's a pure electric model. Full LED headlamps come as standard, and they have Volvo's Thor's hammer daytime running light signature inside. Other unique features include a black contrast roof and black wing mirror caps and large wheels, 19 inches standard and 20 inch on this all-wheel drive model. This sloping roofline shows Volvo's coupe aspirations for the C40, but just look at this detail back here. In the rear spoiler, a boot lid spoiler and a very elaborate light signature here for the rear lights. I really like the sporty styling of the C40, but what do you think? Would you have this over an XC40 Recharge or even a Tesla Model Y? Leave a comment and let us know. The C40 has a classic Volvo cabin, so it has this really simple and minimalist design that we've come to expect from the brand. It does feel sportier from behind the wheel than the XC40, but you still have the same high driving position, and that means you've got a good view out of the road ahead. All cars come with this large portrait style touchscreen, and it's very simple and intuitive to use, even though it doesn't have many physical buttons to operate it. It was co-developed with Google and it uses an Android operating system, so there's lots of Google apps and services built in, like Google Play Store, Google Maps and Google Assistant, and it integrates perfectly with this full digital driver display. The quality is generally good in here, but it's not quite as luxurious as what you might expect for a car at this price point. For example, these fabric seats, they don't exactly look or feel very premium. Now granted, Volvo has used a lot of sustainable and recyclable materials in this cabin, and generally all the plastics in your line of sight are very good, and there's this felt lining in the door bins, which is always a sign of a good car. Other standard features include wireless smartphone charging, there's 2 USB-C ports up here, there's a heated steering wheel, there's heated front and rear seats and a fixed glass roof. And being a Volvo, there's also a suite of standard safety equipment. So the rear doors don't open quite as wide as some other SUVs, but look, there's still good enough access. And then once seated, there is generous legroom and knee room. It's actually the same as in the XC40. There's just a bit less headroom because of that sloping coupe style roof. Now, there is a little bit of a transmission tunnel here, so that's going to be a little bit awkward if you're carrying a middle seat passenger. But there is still plenty of equipment back here. So we have a centre armrest with 2 cup holders. There's also separate ventilation controls here. There is heated rear seats and 2 USB-C ports. A powered tailgate comes as standard, and it opens to reveal 413 litres of space, which is just about 40 litres less than the XC40. It's still a good wide space, and you can also let down the rear seats to create over 1200 litres. There's also some handy underfloor storage, and you can use the boot floor as a divider, just like that. This car also has a storage compartment under the front bonnet, and that's ideal for storing the charging cables so that you don't have to put them in the boot. The Volvo C40 has plenty of competition, with lots of different electric cars and electric SUVs hovering around the same price range. It does compromise some practicality for style, but not that much, and it still comes well equipped, it's pleasant to drive and it offers great performance. So if you're looking for an electric SUV that's that little bit more exclusive and stylish than the rest, then the C40 makes a great choice. You can find more Volvos for sale like this C40 on Carzone.ie, Ireland's trusted motoring marketplace. Please click subscribe to support our channel and stay up to date with all our latest videos.